Why is it that the women that were always told not to be seem to have the best style? The mean girl, the femme fatale, the party girl, the mistress, the rebel. For decades, society has labelled certain women as bad while simultaneously obsessing over how they look. Think the Kardashians. Kim Kardashian. Daily, the tabloids report that she is a bad woman. She's a woman who jumps from man to man, who can't keep a man but can keep a business going. We're reminded of her younger year failures, but we're also told that we should look like her, that we should aim for our bodies to look like her, and that we should run businesses like her. And maybe women like her aren't trying to fit in. Maybe they're the only women that are willing to break the rules. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube video. It is your girl Nyasha. Thank you so much for coming back if you are back, and if you're new here, welcome to the family. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, because we have these discussions all the time. We're getting the ball rolling. Fashion commentary, fashion tips, looks, everything goes over this side. So subscribe, babe. Today we're talking about why bad women always dress better. We're talking about fashion and rebellion and how it's always gone hand in hand, and why the most influential style icons are usually the women that society has always feared the most. So let's get into it. The term bad woman, bad girl is less about morality and it's nearly always about non-compliance. Fashion is rebellion before it's clothing. It's never been about just looking good. It's always been about identity and how a woman identifies within their sensuality, sexuality, and just general self-concept. Every major fashion movement, fashion rebellion has always started because someone has decided that they didn't want to dress the way that society was telling them. When women started wearing trousers, it was considered scandalous. When women wore mini skirts, it was considered controversial, and still is very controversial when we're thinking about the micro skirt or the micro skirt. When women decided to wear leather jackets, heavy makeup, revealing clothing, people decided to take that as a direct threat to traditional femininity. And that should tell us how fashion is actually a weapon. It's a weapon of society and it's a weapon against women. Fashion is often used as a way of social conformity, and if you don't dress the way that society is telling you, you are seen as a problem. I can attest to this when we talk about the Black British culture and we talk about how Black London girls are seen in a certain way.
Our next contestant is Warren. Okay, so there's no more balloons, so go ahead and go.
And there's been a lot of discourse over, I'd say, the past 3 years online about how people say Black London girls, there's a black baddie aesthetic and you need to look this way, otherwise people are going to look at you crazy. Whilst that hasn't been my own experience, I have seen it online and I do kind of get how that can be perceived, because if you're seeing the majority of the girls that are on TikTok, the majority of the girls that are on Instagram all conform to one aesthetic, it will make you feel like you can't dress any other way without getting a side eye. To put it quite frank, without getting a side eye from people like, why is she dressing like that? Like, why is she not wearing a bust down? So that can attest to how, like I said, fashion is used for social conformity. In my opinion, the women who pushed fashion forward were criticized in the beginning, but then celebrated later. So that goes to say that the women called bad today nearly always become style icons tomorrow. The psychology of the bad girl aesthetic is really important to talk about. The perception of the bad girl aesthetic really isn't just leather jackets and rock and roll or mini skirts. No, it's about the audacity. It's about a woman's autonomy and how confident she looks in her clothing. When people see confidence, they assume power, and powerful women have always made society a bit uncomfortable, and they've made the patriarchy uncomfortable. And this is why fashion trends associated with rebellious women often carry an energy that I would say is magnetic. Their clothes communicate. They say, I know who I am. I'm not asking to be liked. And that attitude, it transforms clothing. It transforms clothing from fabric into a statement. And when we think of the bad girl versus the good girl, and that is the perception of society. And I just want to preface this part of the video, when we're talking bad girl versus good girl, there is no such thing as bad girl versus good girl. But in society and how society has deemed it, yes, there is. So let's talk about it. What society wants is for the good girl to dress for approval. And when they see a woman who doesn't dress for their approval, who has the audacity, like I said, has the autonomy, like I said, then that's when they're shaking. They're shaking in their boots. They're not happy about that. So then they're given the title of a bad girl or a bad woman. Good girl aesthetic is society telling a woman, don't dress too revealing, don't attract too much attention, don't dress too sexy, don't look too intimidating. And I just want to pause. As girls, we have all probably experienced somebody in the street telling us, smile, love, smile. Put a smile on your face. And that is society telling you that you should not be scaring people off. You should be very inviting. You shouldn't be intimidating. Put a smile on your face. Look happy all the time. And that is society's good girl. That is what society deems as the perfect good girl woman. Like I said though, bad girls are 99% admired. They're always admired, and people aren't admiring their clothes, they are admiring their confidence, and they're admiring their freedom. The fashion world rewards rule breakers. The fashion industry itself is a disruption. It's built on disruption. Designers become famous for breaking rules, models become famous and iconic for looking different. Trendsetters become influential because they're willing to wear something before everybody else is, you know? Following rules rarely creates style, and it rarely creates personal style. And that's one thing that I've learned as somebody who is dedicating her 20s, the rest of her life, to growing and fashion and just developing my personal style. Once you learn that you don't need to follow rules, and rules aren't a thing. I'm so sorry. No, guys, rules are not a thing. And I don't think that the fashion world, the deeper that you get into fashion, the more that you understand that there isn't any rules. You just do what you want. Somebody will probably tell me that I shouldn't have worn purple and yellow and red with a zebra textured skirt, but I did, and I loved it, and everybody else loved it too. So rules really aren't a thing. I feel like when you start getting into fashion, they're probably there and before you get through the door, but once you push through the door, you start to realize everybody's just winging it. Everybody's wearing what they want. Everybody's following their own style. What's interesting though, as I said, fashion is built on disruption, and the fashion industry is just disruptive in itself, is that the women that are deemed as bad are often working with the fashion designers. Look at Denmark and Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is Denmar's muse. And then we look at the style and the type of fashion that Denmark has recently produced for Gucci. Let's talk about Gucci. The party girl is back. The party girl who is deemed as the bad girl. The party girl who 2 years ago was not in style. It was the clean girl. The girl that had the slick back, the short nails, not the stiletto nails, the short nails, the slick back, the really clear skin and not heavy makeup. That was what was in style. Denmark has now brought back the party girl, and it's no coincidence that his muse, his biggest muse, as he said, is Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian in her early years was a party girl. That's how she got out there. That's how she was able to network. She worked with Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton still to this day is a DJ. She's a party girl. These are women who are known for being party girls, for being scandalous. So yes, the fashion industry does work hand in hand with the bad women, and then that's why we're seeing how society will condemn the bad woman like now, and then 6 months later they're wearing the same thing that the bad women are wearing, because a lot of criticism, I believe, comes from a place of admiration and the lack of freedom to do what the bad women are doing. I don't think we're really understanding that society is condemning the confident woman, the woman who is bad, who is embracing her sensuality, embracing her sexuality. They're condemning that woman, and then tomorrow they're going to the library or they're going to the bookstore and buying books about confidence. It just doesn't make sense, but that's exactly what is happening. And that is why I say that my goal, and I am a fashion designer as well, and I create clothes for the confident woman, The woman who is embracing her sexuality, embracing her sensuality. Because at the end of the day, if you are a trendsetter, people are going to condemn you whether you like it or not. They can condemn you today, but they're going to be wearing what you wore tomorrow. And that's why I really, 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 really love the bad woman. I love the woman who is able to stand out and say, I really don't care about what you guys are saying. I really don't care about what you guys are telling me that I should wear. I'm embracing my sexuality. I'm embracing my sensuality. And that is why I look so good. And I think a lot of people, I did, in a past video, I did talk about a lot of things that fashion girls aren't telling you. And one of the things is being confident in your body. This is exactly what bad women and women that dress in a bad aesthetic, whatever way, that is what they have cracked down to the code. They are within their body. They look in the mirror, they know their body, they know their features of their body. They're very, very confident women. So in the grand scheme of things, you really can't tell them anything because they know how they look and they dress according to how they look. And that's probably why they dress so well. I personally am in love with the bad woman. And I think I kind of give the bad woman aesthetic too, guys. I wear what I want, when I want, because I be doing what I want. Okay, guys, that is the end of our discussion. I hope it's got your head like going and thinking and looking at all the bad women in society that we're told are bad, and then looking at their sense of style, because it goes hand in hand, guys. I think that the bad women are definitely the most dressed, well-dressed women. And that is a fact. Anyways, I love this discussion. Like I said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys. Mwah. Bye.